This guy was about to return his dog to the animal shelter until he found out who the previous owner was. A man named Ricky had just moved to the city. He thought it would be nice to get a dog, so he went to a shelter that he saw on a newspaper. He discovered a black lab there that he wanted to take home. When he asked the shelter what his name was, they said Ray. As soon as they got back to the house, things went terribly wrong. Ray would not listen when being called, and he was tearing up everything, including his shoes. Ricky waited 2 weeks to see if the dog would start behaving, but nothing changed. Along with the dog, the shelter gave Ricky a letter from the previous owner as well as treats and toys for the dog. So Ricky packed up all that stuff to take the dog back to the shelter, but then he decided to read the letter from the previous owner. That's when he discovered who the dog's previous owner was and the dog's real name. When Ricky read the letter from the previous owner, the owner stated that he loved the dog and would have never given him up if he didn't have to. And that the dog's name was Tank because that's what the previous owner drove. He kept the real name from the shelter because he wanted that to be special between him and the dog just in case he returned. See, the previous owner was deployed to Iraq, and if he died, the commander would give that letter to the shelter. He stated that Tank was his family and he wanted the next owner to treat him like family as well. He said if you just did that, Tank would love you just as much as he loved him. The new owner looked at Tank and called his name, and what happened next was a miracle. Tank finally answered when the owner called him by his correct name and they became best friends. Unfortunately, the previous owner passed away saving 3 soldiers in Iraq, and he earned a silver star for his sacrifice.